This is a public service announcement. Black woman, yes, you black woman,
Yes.
you have been supporting a black man since the day you were born. But
Literally.
black men, in times of hardship for a black woman, when she has to stand up, when she has to march, when she has to fight, when she's getting stabbed in the back, you sit down. You don't stand. How do you call yourself a man? How dare you call yourself black?
And
your mama, you're black.
And it goes to my Latinos too, because let me educate you on this. You guys are saying that you're not black. You are black. I approve this message.
Yes! Period!
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In honor of Black History Month, today we have a special for you. We're gonna have special guests where we're gonna talk about how it is to be a black woman in America.
One of our main goals for this channel was inclusivity, and so it was really, really important for us to feature multiple perspectives and multiple voices, not just us three.
We're really excited and we worked really hard on this. It took a lot of time, and with everything said, we just hope that you enjoy this video, and if you have any comments, questions, anything, leave it down in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let's get going.
Hi, my name is Stephane, and I am a Haitian woman who immigrated here over 10 years ago. So I'm glad to participate here.
Hello, my name is Dahlia. I am a Sudanese American woman that lives in Boston, Massachusetts.
Guys, my name is Asma. I'm from New York. I identify as Afro-Latina, but I also identify as a Muslim. So yeah, and I have Puerto Rican and Jamaican roots.
Being a black woman brings, in America, brings feelings of both liberty and freedom and sexism and racism. We have to think about it in a term where I'm comparing life in a third world country with life in the Western world.
For me, it's similar to Stephane's, but for me, it's at the same time it's different because I'm a mixture of everything. So it's like for me, my nationalities and my ethnicities are Dominican and Puerto Rican. So I have a mixture of Spaniard, and I also have my African descent, and I also have my Native American descent. So it's like it's a mixture of everything, but still, I still feel the same ways as Stephane feels just because of the color of my skin.
All right, so I am only conscious about that when I am in America. Every time I go to Sudan, I don't have to worry about my blackness. I'm with other black people. But once I come to America, I am very conscious of me being black, especially because I am put in very different situations than others. I feel the difference, I understand the difference, and I know the difference.
Being a black woman in America means to me that I have to work 2 times harder than any other race because of the social restraints and suffrages not only women had to get for our women rights, as well as having a target on my back because I am African American.
I am both hated and feared. I am a black woman, so I am already hated for that, and I am also a Muslim woman, so I am feared for that. I personally love it because I get that advantage, to walk around making people feel uncomfortable. Also, my intersectionality gives me a little bit of an advantage when it comes to jobs that look for diversity.
I consider myself Afro-Latina. So the thing for me is I try to live the way and be part of, make sure I am each and every part of my identity. Sometimes it's really challenging because I had to deal with people telling me oh, you acting more like Puerto Rican or you acting more Dominican. And I'm just like, why can't I just be both? I'm both. I really don't have to pick a side. They're both beautiful. They bring their own flavor, like I would like to say. And why can't I have all of that?
I feel less important to one's perspective outside of my own. For an example, when I go to the corner stores, I may feel like speaking Spanish to the Boricuas or the Dominicanos in the bodega, and when we speak Spanish to the Muslims, they feel like we're being rude or ignorant.
That's a common one. I feel daily you have to juggle these different personalities when you're with different people. You can't be too black here, and you can't be, too white on this side, supposedly, as if I could ever turn white. But
Ain't that the truth?
these are the things I deal with on a daily basis. You speak to some people and your vocabulary is not, street or slang enough, and you speak to others and it's not refined enough, or there are certain ways that you have to carry yourself, so you're constantly at this highest level. If we look at the past president, he had to kind of deliver higher than the current one. So you have these standards that are always in this society, where you have to kind of remember, as a black woman, even as a black man, that you're constantly, being evaluated. But one thing that I've embraced is my Haitianness, if I can say that. I've decided that I'm just going to be Haitian. If I said something and it doesn't sound exactly as it should, or if my accent comes out a little bit more today than it did yesterday, oops, I'm glad. This is just who I am. Therefore, I'm not going to apologize for it anymore, and I've embraced it now. It is sadly what it is just something that needs to change throughout society. And as a woman who is light-skinned, I try to recognize the greatness in my darker-skinned women, my darker-skinned sisters, and I try to emphasize those things in other women of color next to me. So I do realize my privilege, and I know that it doesn't make it any easier for me. It's not that I don't deal with racism or that I don't deal with other aspects of race or sexism in the United States, but I do recognize the advantages that I do get just from the fact that my shade is slightly lighter than some, and it's sad, but it is our reality.
So light-skinned women definitely have an advantage over dark-skinned women in the field of beauty and beauty standards. I personally think also that light-skinned women can also pass as white. It has happened before in history. But however, I believe that light-skinned women are also in the system. They're getting fucked over by the system because they are still considered black on the census, our race. So we are together, we're still going through a struggle, but they have an upper hand because of how lighter they are.
For me, it's like I tend to be at the position where I don't understand how come they're pursued as so beautiful, but then me, like us, why can't we be, Because like I look at myself, I'm like, I love the color of my skin. Like I don't know what the problem is. Like there shouldn't be any big deal about it.
I personally think it is inclusive to black women, because every time someone says woman of color, I think of black woman.
I'm gonna agree to disagree. I said I don't think the phrase woman of color is inclusive to black women, because that phrase can not only be inclusive to black women, but all women of color, black, Spanish, and Muslim.
Yes, I do believe that it is inclusive of black women. I sometimes tend to think that maybe we kind of even kind of hug the term a little bit more than other races do sometimes. And it may happen just from, social standards or different things that go on in our environment. But I do recognize that other cultures and other races do fit under that as well.
For me, I feel like it's like how Stephane said, black women and other people from different ethnicities can fit under that term, but I feel like it's like a 50-50 when it comes to black women, because black women tend to not be heard.
There's this image that black people know less and are less knowledgeable about many things, yet it's not because we are not curious, not that we don't want to, not that we are not looking to be more educated. And with all the barriers that are there, institutionalized and others, it's even harder to get beyond those hurdles.
Yeah.
And then you get the image that we as black and colored people are not as educated as whites here in America. communities that are more white or, prevailed by white inhabitants are better supported.
To going deeper into how these urban schools, they're trying to keep that alive and making our generation after generation, keeping them in that dumb section by not having enough resources, giving them old textbooks that have old presidents in it, and that's just really messed up. So that has to come to a stop.
A lot of myself and my relative have grew up in the streets, so we've dealt with police brutality and APOs and stuff. So I wanted to talk about that. Basically, whites look down upon us because being educated, knowledge gives us power to make us more superior than whites.
Yes, very true.
The Black Lives Matter movement, I guess, make whites feel inferior to us, but really we just want Black lives to matter at this point.
Yeah, I think it's self-hate when other black people say, oh, you talk white, or you're so educated like a white person, because it implies the belief that black people don't deserve to be educated.
I do think black women defend the black man and stand up for him, but the energy is never reciprocated because I feel like black men, because if a black woman puts a man through hardship, he runs to another race, abandoning his own to worship that woman's race, opposed to his own due to his relationship experiences. Some black men only date white women because they are more easygoing than the black woman who has endured more pain in her life due to being black, which the black man connects with but disconnects to love the white woman better because her white privilege.
I feel like black women have been supporting the black men, but way too much. I feel like it just comes in our nature because how women are, we're just caregivers, so it just comes natural. But it's it comes to a point when we're just okay, where are we getting the same affection and the same energy back? Which then it ties into what my girl Nani said too, that that's the reason why most of them go for white women. And I'm also say this too, it also attracts Latino men too, because y'all Latino men, you guys are black too, you guys have your black roots too. So this is also towards you guys. Ustedes creyendo que no, que me busca una gringa, I was this is the thing though. That's all good. There's no issue with you, like I said, there's no issue with a Latino or black man loving a white woman. But it's it should never be because you can't control your Latina or black woman. That's the thing. The thing is that you guys are upset because, all right, you already have to deal with having to be downed on and having to, being so controlled by the government that you feel that, oh, I need this sense of power and this sense of control. Because literally, Latin and black women that are mothers are teaching their daughters, you ain't gonna take no crap from no man. No man should be telling you what to do. So literally when they see that power that we're fighting back, they're just oh no, I'm gonna get someone that doesn't fight back. But little do they know that they're getting into experiencing a whole new thing with that mentality of, oh, I'm gonna go to this race because I'm gonna end up controlling them, when really in reality they could end up controlling them.
Answer, no. Black men sit down in the times of need for all black women. When black women are marching and when they need their help and when they're crying and being stabbed in the back by everyone in the world, when they're treated as a third person, y'all black men sit down. And for those black men who stand up, I applaud you because you're there for your people. I'm gonna make this clear. If you're a black man and you're dating a white woman because you love her, good for you. But if you're dating a white woman because you are degrading all other black women, you have self-hate and you really hate yourself, man. You should not be degrading other black women because your mama's black, your sister black, and you black. Don't hate your own people. Unity is key.
I do believe that black men tend to prefer to date white women for certain reasons that probably they cannot even explain out loud, such as they think that white women are probably more willing to do certain things than colored women or black women. However, I do know relationships that are interracial that do work, that are beautiful, and that thrive. However, there is that stigma in society when we look back at colonization, when we look back at everything that's being taught to us into society about why certain races are better, white persuasion, versus black or colored, other colored races, brown races. So we have this preference that happens, and that is not fair when looking at the dating scene.
I feel like ever since I was young, I really ended up hating my hair because I thought that it was not gonna be accepted. I always had to straighten my hair. Like literally, could you not, I damaged my own hair by putting a relaxer on it in order just to have it straight. Literally now I went through a transition, and literally going through a transition was the best decision I have ever made. Because when I look at myself in that mirror and I see my hair, I'm like, wow. I literally said to my hair, I am so sorry I damaged you. Welcome to the world. I love you, and we're ready just to show you off.
As a kid as well, was subjected to relaxing my hair, and even into adulthood, I felt that that was the only way. No one has ever taught me to like my hair or to try to deal with my own texture. So I thought that was the only way to actually go on and care for my hair, because I was never taught how to do so. I learned to do that later as I started to take charge of my own hair, and I'm grateful for that. I don't want to believe that my hair is a political statement in its curly state, but as we look into the media and we look at kids being expelled from school or making headlines for wearing their braids or wearing their hairs in dreads or any other type of hairstyles that just look foreign or look different to other people, and they feel threatened by it. Therefore, it must then mean or sustain some kind of power that then results in this kind of reaction where it's too much for you to handle, that you have to have this huge reaction against it.
So even though I wear a hijab, I'm still fighting for my black woman out there, because I know what it means when people hate your hair but also want to be you and want your hair. It's ridiculous. I feel like women can use their natural hair to show the world that it is both professional, it's beautiful, it is meant for every workforce. There's no such thing as ugly hair. No such thing as unprofessional hair. Like I feel like I don't have to straighten my hair to go to work. Like if I want to wear it out in an afro, I'm gonna wear it out in an afro, whether you like it or not.
Whether my hair is straightened or unstraightened, it basically makes a statement, and it shows that I identify with Afro-Latina. Like I either have nappy hair, or when it's wet it gets curly, that's my Puerto Rican side, or the black side, Jamaican side. I don't know, but I have good hair, so that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. It might be nappy to you, but it's bomb to me.
Then that's all that matters.
Me, don't get me wrong. Me, that I accept my my black ancestors, my roots. Me, myself, yes, I do say the N-word, but best believe I don't like saying the N-word, because I feel like it shouldn't have never, from how it was used before, it should have never been turned into something that it's appropriate. The reason why I say that is because how it's become appropriate, like those same people that use that word get upset when another person that's not black uses it, and they get offended by it. So it's just like the thing how I view it as, if you could easily get offended and get upset when someone else says that word, then you should stop saying it yourself. Usually the N-word now is portrayed as a brother, but no, it shouldn't be. It should be like, if you want to look at the person as brother, you could be like, hey, yo, my brother. You don't have to say the N-word. And I feel like it's also getting even harder too with the music industry, because the music industry, there's literally these black men that use that word, and literally they're not noticing that they're keeping that as the main thing, and then also keeping our young black boys in the hood. And it's like, we want to get them out of there. We want to get them out to where they don't have to use that word, and they don't have to always be behind that word.
Since I am not from, an American background, I'm coming into this country, and I do understand the sensibility around that word. I try to understand, and I'm saying trying because there's no way I can, even as a black woman, understand the level of hurt or the level of just burden that is carried through that word. There is no way I could possibly say that I understand, but I do try to understand. It's like a word you take, you learn to just not say, and you learn to realize the weight that it has carried throughout history. So to that, this is the level of respect that I simply have when it comes to that term. However, I would hope that in the coming years that it doesn't weigh so much on my black brothers. It doesn't weigh so much on my black women, because that does not define who they are. That history does not define the progress that is being made throughout all black communities.
I personally think that we should stop using the N-word. Okay, even though I use it often, I want to stop saying it. Even though we have changed, us as the black community, changed the meaning of the N-word to ourselves, it still holds that derogatory term to other people around the world. And when they hear us use it with each other, they don't understand if we're offending each other, if we're hurting each other. I feel like we should stop saying it if we want. If we want other people to stop saying it, we should stop saying it also.
I agree. I said I think the N-word is not a cool word, but me and my friends that experience discrimination, we don't use it often, but every now and again, like, you know, when I go to like New York or wherever I go, we use the word amongst each other, and every now and again when I'm mad, the N-word comes out, and I just feel like it's not classy, or it's like not a way for me to really articulate like what I'm going through. If I hear another person of a different race say it, it pisses me off even more. So I'm basically like a walking contradiction at this point. So nobody can say it. My message to the future black woman is to stay poised, stay wise, keep breaking down social barriers, get more involved in social awareness and political and cultural views, just so then other people from your generation can feel like they have a voice. In high school, I never really considered voting like that until I turned maybe 21 or 22. And when Donald Trump became president, it broke my heart. To stay open-minded and just have a clear view of what's actually going on in the world, and not just in their little bubble, like where we live at in the hood, maybe Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, or like New York, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx. Like, you just gotta stay focused and think outside the box.
I want to say keep fighting. It's gonna get better. Love each other, love yourself, unite, because unity is important. Y'all don't understand how important unity is. When you love each other and you help each other and you work together, you're gonna be super powerful. And if you're angry, and if they keep calling you an angry black woman, tell them you have every right to be angry, because you've been fucked over so many times that you're tired. You're just tired. I'm tired too. I understand. If you're angry, show them that you're angry. But don't abuse your anger. Use it to your advantage. Use your anger to get yourself up there. Because why? That's how people get shit done. They use their anger to their advantage. Remind yourself that God created you the way you are. If you don't believe in God, remember that you are who you are.
It's like how Dahlia said, it's gonna be hard. But mind you, always keep in mind, we're in a society where there's a bunch of people that are really ignorant. There's a bunch of people that don't want to be educated. So it's like, don't waste your time fighting with them. Let them think whatever they want to think, because that's not gonna stop you from being beautiful. That's not gonna stop you from achieving what you gotta do. Let them think whatever they want to think, because the more they think about you, the higher you get and the lower they get. Through me, like my own people, how they discriminate their own people that are even darker than them, and they don't understand that they're also black. I am not gonna argue with them, because for me, I'm gonna use my blackness as power. If you don't like it, baby, I love it. You don't gotta love me.
You're strong. Keep your head up. I know you've heard it so many times, but keep walking through those hurdles. You've done it in the past, and you will continue to get through them. You are smart. You're beautiful, and just carry this courage into your children as you're raising them so they can be the strong black men and black women that we need for the future. For black women, you know already all the weight that is on your shoulders when it comes to future generations, and we can do it. We can be the change that we want to see, and we can raise those black and strong colored kids that we will see in the future.